Mic test 1 2. Mic test 1 2.
My name is Godwin. I run a company called Tuteria. Yes, it
Hello guys, Adeposi OKupe here with another episode of the Side Business Network TV, where I bring you today's entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs doing stuff here in Nigeria. And today I have the pleasure of talking with my good friend here, Mr. Godwin Benson, founder, CEO of Tuteria. And it's actually a company that I've been watching very closely because I really love when people take ideas that create or that cause impact. Yeah, it's not just about creating a business for profit, but something that causes impact in society, and then they make it they go on to make it really successful. And that's what you've done, and that's what you're still doing. So it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So quickly, what we want to do is on the Side Business Network, we want to go into your brain and start from where the journey began.
Okay.
Where the journey began. So just tell us a bit about Godwin Benson, who Godwin Benson is, a little bit about your background, and then we'll move over to how Tuteria started.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. So once again, thank you for having me here. It's a privilege to be on the show. So again, my name is Godwin Benson. I'm 28 now. Married. I studied systems engineering at University of Lagos. Finished in 2012. I'm from Akwa Ibom as well. So the idea for Tuteria started way back. I must have been in SS1 at the time, maybe 2003 or 2004, when I had my first teaching job. It was a man who had hired me to teach his son math, and we had agreed at 6,000 naira for the month, and it was a lot for me then because my mom gave me 10 naira to school. And I went and I taught the boy so much. I mean, I almost wanted to put the whole math in his head. And he really improved in that time. And so, but at the end of the month, I wasn't paid the 6,000 naira. So that was really painful because I had almost spent the money even before it came in. And so at that point, I wanted to see how could I ensure that doesn't happen to me and to other people who teach. But then I also discovered that this man's house was about 10 minutes walk from mine. And he had been trying to get a teacher for about 3 months. He didn't find any. So I realized that those 3 months were actual learning hours that the son had missed out of because he couldn't find a tutor, whereas I was always just down the road from him. So I thought of how could I make it easy, faster for people to find awesome tutors that could teach them whatever they want to learn, especially when those people are within their communities. So that's when the idea came initially. I didn't do anything about it. I just studied somewhere in my mind. So up until NYC period, when I had more free time, and then the thoughts came back to me, and I realized, oh well, I think I now know more. I think this is a problem I want to solve. But then what was really the turning point for me was when I got a job in Deloitte, and I met my manager and I explained to him what I wanted to do. Okay. On telling him, he just showed me the pictures of his 3 children, how that he hadn't been able to get a teacher for them, and they've been performing poorly at school. I mean, he almost was tearing up, crying. And when you see a big man cry, it's really hurting him. And interestingly, he lives in Ibadan, and his house is not too far from the University of Ibadan, where there are thousands of people who could teach him. But he works in Lagos. He has to go home every Friday to teach his kids himself. Rush back to Lagos on Sunday. So, but he couldn't give them the attention that they needed, and so they were failing. So when I told him, seeing him in that state, I knew that if I could solve this problem, I would have helped him and helped many parents that were in his state. And then many of my colleagues as well kept saying, hey, I want to learn this, but I don't know where to learn. I want to learn how to play piano. I want to learn how to do photography. There were a lot of things that people really wanted to learn. And the problem was that they couldn't find someone. I met a few people who had been swindled by dishonest tutors. So they paid maybe 70K for lessons, and after 1 week, the tutor had gone. So these were challenges that I felt I was passionate enough and willing to solve, and that's why we resigned. After speaking with my manager, and then I said I was going to work on it fully. So that's where we started from.
The idea.
In terms of the idea.
Wow. I love how you put it, because there's something I always tell my audience, and you guys are watching there. Entrepreneurs are looking out to solve problems, and it is in solving those problems that these systems and these businesses are created.
Absolutely.
Right. So at the end of the day, as important as money is in the game of business, it is like a byproduct of solving a problem.
Absolutely. So
the more problems you solve as an entrepreneur, the more potential of profit
that you make. In fact, the way it works is people have real problems and they want it solved, and whoever solves it creates value for them, which they are willing to pay for. I mean, they are literally willing to pay if you take that pain away from them. So for me, seeing a man cry, it showed that this is a huge pain, and it's not. He could have tried to hold it back because I was his subordinate, but he couldn't. Letting you see that this is a real problem.
Wow. And
rather than think of the money, because I had to think of the fact that in Deloitte, or even if I got a bigger job, I could have made big salary and all. But I had to decide, do I want to just get that money and just be one rich guy, or do I want to help these people who have this problem? So for me, it was a no-brainer. I'd rather help these guys because I know that in doing that, I will make a lot of money.
Sure. Yeah. And that's how the game goes. And actually, since you are even solving two problems now.
Yeah.
You're solving the problem of the students that want to learn.
Absolutely.
And you're also solving another problem
of those who want to teach.
Yeah.
So it's like each time I look at how much we pay out every day, it's a lot. It makes me feel happy that we came on board. Because there are a lot of tutors who are passionate about teaching, unemployed graduates, teachers in school that are really good, but they are paid 30K in a month, 25, 40, and they have 2 children. So it's not enough to cater for their families.
Yeah.
So, but with our platform, they are able to teach more people, and then they're earning viable income. So these are people who ordinarily may not have had that kind of access. So, but now maybe a tutor takes about 3 clients, three different students.
Yeah.
So he's busy, he's busy working, helping people, and every day he gets a payment in his bank. So it's humbling for us that we are in the intersection between people who want to learn and then those who can teach to get extra income.
Exactly. So it's still all about that creation of value.
Yes.
You've created value for 2 subsets.
Absolutely.
And that's where the business comes in. Awesome. Let's talk about Tuteria. Let's talk about the Tuteria story. Because there's always a story. And I remember I tagged you on a comment once that you must keep those pictures of when you started, because obviously you didn't start in this beautiful office. By the way, guys, I'm in the Tuteria headquarters here in Bagada, and it's a lovely, cute office, has the startup vibe with the bright colors and all that. And but let's go back to when you started Tuteria.
Okay.
How did you put this together? Okay. Obviously, there were some challenges. For one, I understand the part of you were in a job, a well-paying job, which has the prospects of even pay you much more.
Yeah.
And then you're going from that to like nothing and all faith. Obviously, because you left to start Tuteria. You didn't start while you were.
I left.
You left to start. Yeah. So how did you manage that process of deciding I have to leave this? How did that go for you?
Okay. When I think about it now, it wasn't very difficult to decide or to leave, and that was because education is something I've always been passionate about, and as a person, I never wanted to be just a regular person. I've always wanted to make an impact, so I saw this as an opportunity to really make an impact. So deciding between leaving my job or going into starting my own company was easy for me because that's where my passion was. And of course, I told my colleagues, that was the first thing. I told my superiors. They tried to encourage me. Some tried to discourage me. But my mind was already made up, and they knew my mind was made up anyway. So by the time I told them what I wanted to do, they felt that there was a higher cause. At the end, they all felt, I think if you can solve this, you'll have made more impact than if you stayed here. So that was good for me because they supported me and said, I think you should actually go and get this done. But then, of course, I had saved money. I knew that living in salary to no salary was not a very easy journey, but I saved up some money during my time at Deloitte, and that was what helped me when we started building Tuteria. So although most times, depending on the person, I try to advise, you may not want to leave immediately. Yeah, you could, try to see what you could do by the side and see how that progresses. But for me, there was a point when I thought about how big do I want this idea to be. And I looked at people who had done combined working in an establishment and trying to build their businesses. Most times there's a cap to how far they can go because of time constraints. So I had to decide, do I want this to go big global, or do I want this to just be Nigeria or Lagos? So I decided, I think if this will be big, you have to be all in. That's why I left. And of course, I drawn out a plan. So before I left, I had drawn out a massive plan. I thought about almost every single factor that will make Tuteria succeed or fail. So the whole process, from how the tutors are vetted, how they get clients, the payments, the disbursement, how we ensure there's transparency between both parties, how we measure the effectiveness of the lessons. Wow. If I had done everything, so when I had done, because like someone had told me that if a business will fail in real life, it will first of all fail on paper. So make sure it doesn't fail on paper at least. Then have a chance of not failing in real life. So I thought about every single scenario. That took months, nights of reading and writing and researching. So when I felt I had a solid plan, that was when I resigned. I felt as long as I follow this plan, we should not fail, right? And there was immediately that I called up a friend, a tech friend I have, and sold the idea to him. Interestingly, he just jumped on it and said, I've been looking for something to do that is impactful, not just make money. And so he also left his job, and both of us went to my house. So he's my co-founder, Abiola. So we started on the 1st of November 2014. We had a 1 month break to just relax. After I left Deloitte, I went to see my girlfriend then, just at least let her know that I'm on a journey. I don't know where to take me, but at least follow me and let's get there. So after that 1 month break, we got to work from 1st of November from my living room. So he came from his house and he lived with me. So we were working for almost 17 to 18 hours per day stretch, writing code, building the site, talking to customers, we did a lot at that time. We spoke to tutors, went around, asked people, this is what we are trying to do. What do you think?
Let me cut you. So you guys didn't just put up an ad on Facebook and all this traffic just started pouring in, shouting, we want you. Like, you actually had to call customers.
We had to go to people, even before the site was live.
Yeah.
Because we were, at front, initially we were scared, like, with this work. There's that feeling of anxiety, and we wanted to be sure that this will work. So the last leg of the research was the actual people that will use the service. So we had to talk to them, to get this. The service wasn't live, but to them, this is what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
What do you think? Would it help you? Would you pay for it? How much would you pay? And then the feedback was very, very good. And that was what gave us a lot of energy boost. That almost 95% of everyone we spoke to, they actually needed the service. And that was transformational for us. So we knew that we were onto something big. Yeah. And so with all of that research, we also learned more about what they needed, things around safety, competency, the vetting process, if they will pay per hour, per month, or per term, or per year. We asked a lot of questions, and we documented the responses. And using that, we started working on the platform. So it took us about 8 months. Well, in the process, we tried hiring some people to help us with the tech, but they did a crappy job, so I had to fire them. And what was worse was we had already paid them and they didn't want to refund us. Yeah. So even the small money we had, had been taken away. And also we didn't let that this distract us. We kept on working. About a month to the time of launch, we were robbed and
physically robbed.
Yes, Amabas came into my house in the night because we worked all night, so our gen was always on, lights were on, we were coding.
So they think the money is coming. Money must be coming out from this.
So they came and they took our laptops, took our phones, took everything. But thank God we had stored the code in the cloud.
Wow.
And it was depressing, but we just said we still have a launch date. The next day, we went out, bought new laptops. Let's continue working. So the resources we had saved, that was what we were using to buy this, and it was depleting. But we just kept at it. So I think it was till October of 2015 before we made a first sale, almost 1 year. So we launched in around June of 2015, and when we launched, we didn't make a single sale. Because we had assumed that people could use the service themselves. So we had built it in a way that you could use the service yourself. I didn't really understand.
Intuitive platform.
Yeah, exactly. But by the time we started, they were not going to use it themselves. They wanted us. Maybe we are not gotten enough. We did some research, but we didn't get enough information to really understand how they use the platform. Yeah. So we built what we felt they would use. So when we did our marketing, people were just learning on the site and they were not taking any lessons. So we had to revert to a manual process. So we were involved, like, tell me what you want, let me help you get on, rather than you do it yourself. Yeah. And immediately we did that, we started making sales. Our first sale came from a client in Port Harcourt, and she even paid online. And she had not even met the tutor. So that was revolutionary for us. It was exciting night.
You guys didn't laminate the check out or laminate the notification.
Yeah, wow. It was, that night was, we couldn't work anymore. We just said, this is okay. She paid 24,000 and said, and then afterwards, we started making a lot more sales. We did more marketing. And then at some point we had to hire a staff because we had too many requests coming in. And then I had to handle almost everything. I was the one on the phone, picking all the calls, customer service, replying all the emails, checking the tutors that apply, resolving complaints, checking on lessons, balancing the books, doing marketing, sales. I did like everything. So the other person just did tech. That's my partner. And our first recruit was working on the tutor side, vetting the tutors. Okay. So it was a lot of calls. Midnight, people would call, I saw your ad, I want the lesson teacher at 12 a.m. Like, man, can't you just wait till 7? But then I had to answer because we needed the money to survive. Our resources were depleting. But we just kept at it. And at some point, we got some grants, which really helped. And that really took us from that struggling level, just gave us some grace.
In a very funny way,
Okay.
when you're actually moving, then people, it seems like people now want to follow.
Absolutely. That's the way it works. Because it's also lower risk for the people who have the resources to help. Not just even resources, even people, staff. There's some of my staff here that I did not put out a job ad for. They saw what I was doing, and they were people who could get jobs in big companies. But I said, I really like what you're doing, and I'd rather do this with you than. So when you are solving a problem that people really care about and it's making impact, you attract both human and capital resources. It's a natural order. And then especially if you're able to you tell a story and sell your vision. So for the investors or the funders, it's less risk if your skin is in the game. For example, I resigned from my job. This is what I do full time. Whether or not they help me, I'm still going to try to get it done anyway. At some point, when the money was depleting, we thought of who can we borrow money from? So I and my partner wrote a list of all our uncles, aunties, friends, neighbors. We're going to borrow from anybody.
Yeah.
And pay back eventually, but to quit wasn't an option. So everyone knew that these guys are going to get this done anyway. So why not help them, get it done faster?
I love that. Now, what obviously you are now a CEO of a full-fledged company.
Yeah.
And I'm sure from that there are new experiences that you didn't have while you were an employee.
Yeah.
That you either were not aware of or you're not prepared for.
Okay.
So now that you're a CEO, you have to talk about you have a team. I think you said about 23 members of staff in an office. So you're managing people, hiring, firing, salaries here, complaints here. So how have you changed from being an employee to a CEO? What are the differences?
The difference really is, thinking about it, there really shouldn't be a difference. Like an employee is an entrepreneur somewhat within an organization.
Yeah.
Should have the same passion and drive, just that they're doing a smaller set of tasks. But as a CEO, the business rises or falls on you. Like when I was in Deloitte, if something is not done, I wouldn't take the blame directly because there are people ahead of me, and I could always tell them, this was wrong, but I think you should fix it. But as a CEO, you fix everything, and there's a lot you need to learn. For example, I had to learn about accounting, about finance, HR, staffing, tech. I had to learn how to code a bit to support my partner, because as a CEO, everyone is your master, even your employees. You serve everybody. Your customers are your masters. They call you at odd hours. You don't push away any complaints. You have to learn from that. And we are at a point now where we are looking at scaling, and that's even a tougher point because we have to standardize most of our processes, make sure everything is streamlined so that we can handle more traffic and have a faster way of administering to every customer. So I've had to learn a lot, read a lot of books that make me a better CEO, as it were. But I see it as one of the things I've learned the most is the importance of hiring smart people. They make the CEO's job easy. They really make the job easy, and it's a blessing that we have people who are driven, who are smart, who are willing to sacrifice to see the vision, come to life. And that has made it easy for me, because there are some things now that I don't have to learn. They just inform me that these are the things I've learned, the things I've done. I'm just letting you know that I've done them. And I'm like,
even suggesting this is what we can do, and you're like,
okay, I
do that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Awesome. I'm really glad about how Tuteria is positioned, because obviously education is it's this mammoth problem that we have in this part of the world. And any innovation or anything that comes in to make that better. I was just listening this morning to Shewoni Binde of Budget on radio. with enough is enough, and then they're talking about how education is underfunded again in the budget. Always education and health. Right?
Underfunded.
So anyway, tech can come in, to make these things move, like even create impact in these sectors is always very welcome.
Absolutely.
So enough of Tuteria. Let's talk about Godwin a little.
Okay.
When you started Tuteria, okay, Jemima was there, but not in. You were not married at the time.
Yeah, I wasn't.
And obviously, are there changes, or what are the changes from single Godwin to married Godwin?
Well, for one, I've added some.
That's true.
And I think we started this. Of course, I wasn't married at the time. I could make a lot more sacrifices. For example, work overnight, long hours. I slept in the office a lot when I was single. And now I can't do that often because I have a wife that I need to tend to. But she has also been really supportive. So many things that I have to bother my head about: my health, my well-being, my well-being. Really, someone else is helping me ensure that I don't go the extremes. Because as a CEO, your natural tendency is to always go the extreme. But she helps me cover all those excesses and keeps me in shape, And there's also someone to discuss the deepest concerns or even fears with. For example, at this point of scale, there are certain things that are not yet in place, and at least I could talk to her about it, and she gives valuable advice that I wouldn't have expected someone that doesn't have business experience to give, but that's been really helpful. And in terms of the company, I think I'm more balanced now. I would say I work more effectively because now I know I have to coordinate myself better and not just be doing like one rookie and be walking and doing grab up and down. So, but I'm more productive, I would say, because I'm now more organized and structured, knowing that I have someone else that I have to, bring into my space. And I'm better because I have my wife.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Tuteria in the next 5 years?
5 years, we should have covered Africa. Next year, we're launching in 2 other countries.
Wow.
One in Africa, one outside Africa. The aim is to help us expand because the need for education is global. It's not local. So we want to be able to spread the impact as much as possible and connect many more people across different verticals. So right now we do majorly offline lessons, but we're including other forms of learning depending on the demography and the need of our client base. So it's exciting for us. We are going to do it anyway. So, but it's really exciting and challenging, and we love the challenge. We've seen a lot of demand from people outside Nigeria who are waiting for us to come, who have the same needs. And I'm like, I think you guys should come. Like, I really need you guys. And so I want to spread this across Nigeria. Right now, we are in 14 states in Nigeria, and we are looking to cover the remaining in the next 1 year and then begin to expand from there. So,
okay, let me extend my congratulations ahead because I know you're going to do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I know you're going to do it. And I know there's one part you did not touch on because there are sometimes when things are not working.
Okay.
And you've done everything humanly possible to do it. When it seems that you just need this extra help, what are the things? What are the disciplines that you've done, or what are the other routines that you have begun to imbibe, to make sure that Tuteria actually fulfills its purpose? Okay, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So there are several parts of the company that are not optimal yet, and there are parts that are not fully producing the kind of result that we envision, and there are some that we have been clueless as to what to do. But what I've learned is, first of all, when there's a problem that personally I seem not to know the way out, the first set of people I speak to are my colleagues. So in Tuteria, we have like a management team. So the top level 5 people that we all crack our head as to anything. So we just have a meeting, we put the problem on the board, and we just try to look at all the possible ways. How do we go around this? How do we go through it? How do we go under it? Just ensure that we get past it. Yeah. Many times the problems are handled at that point, many times, because different perspectives helps us see, okay, really, I think this is where we should have taken. Sometimes I speak to some of my senior entrepreneurs who have a lot more experience, and those times have been very valuable for me, very, very valuable. So just 2 minutes of phone call, and the seeming confusion is cleared. I really value that. For me, that has been really, really helpful. Of course, in terms of my personal faith, praying has helped a lot, because when I'm in those crossroads, it gives me strength. So, like, one of the things I learned, talking with God, if I'm about to make a decision and I'm not sure which to do, once I begin to just pray and think about it, I just get a direction, like a clarity. One gets stronger, one just dies down. So, and I know, okay, this is where I'm to go, this is where we should. For example, when we had to make a decision to leave here and get the other place, it was a huge expense. In fact, it almost doubled probably doubled our operational costs, and it was, I thought about it, should we not? But then I got clarity, and so I had to make that decision, and then everyone was on board. So anytime we are at those crossroads, I have my team, I have the other more experienced entrepreneurs, and of course I always have God to guide me. Yeah. So we've always succeeded, even when it's marketing. Let's say we don't know a particular marketing channel to test, I just call up someone that is a marketing guru, and he says, okay, I think you should try this, and we do it, and I'm like, voila, it works. Wow. Or we have like a tech blog. We have some friends that work in Microsoft, some in Facebook, Google. Just ask a few questions, and they say, no, this is not hard now, and they help us. So we've been very open to learn, and I think it's something that there's a temptation of a CEO to stop his own learning, because you are the boss, everybody answers to you, but it shouldn't be that way. Because you're a CEO, you should learn a lot, and be very open and teachable, even from your employees. So I learned a lot from my employees, because they come with new ideas, things they've read I've not read, and I even borrow books from them to read as well. So, but that way you almost never you don't repeat mistakes if you're open to learn as a CEO. So awesome. That's valuable.
I think that's a good way to wrap the interview. I want to thank you a lot for your time. I know you're a very busy person, and your handle attests to that. So I'd just like you to leave with one word for the guys watching. A lot of them are aspiring entrepreneurs, and also we have a lot of people that have already started something. But just one tip that can help them to move to that next level.
For me, it would be if it's a business that has customers, where people pay for your service, my biggest advice would be focus on solving the problem of your customers. Do that 100% of the time.